We hear repeatedly that St. Kitts-Nevis is meeting all the requirements for the IMF and what's not, passing all the performance levels, but that doesn't seem to be translating to the ground. We hear about businesses closing on a regular basis. We hear companies, laying off people. How does that translate to the average person and what's going on in St. Kitts right now? And will we, if we're doing so well, can we see any ease in the austerity measures that were put in place?
Whether we would want to ease the austerity measures because we are now hearing that we're performing well and passing the performance test with regard to the IMF. And so this needs to be translated on the ground. It is already translated on the ground. That's why our schools are still open. That's why we are providing support to those who are not able to provide for themselves by way of medication and health care. That is why when school opens tomorrow or next week, Monday, school uniforms would have been provided to our students who can't afford to get them from their own parents. That's why the school meals program will continue. That's why we are trying to refurbish the school meals center so that we can have an improvement in the conditions under which the meals are being prepared. That's why schools around the country are being repaired and being readied to take in our new students and the continuing students next week when schools are reopened. That's why. It's because we have brought control to our spending and we have maximized our collection of revenue as part of the restructuring of the economy. That's why we're able to continue to do these things that other countries are not able to do easily. Paying civil servants on time, increasing the medical benefits, even though things are more difficult. That's why we are able to do these things. So these things are being translated on the ground. That's why the incentive packages with the full involvement of the SIDF, the most talked about foundation in the world. That's why it's functioning. Good. Good. A lot of praise to the SIDF these days because it has provided support to generate employment in this country and to stimulate the economy in several ways where we believed in the past we would have never been able to do. So I want to say that as a result of doing these things, having brought control in the economy, that's why we are passing the test. Passing the test means you have been able to demonstrate fiscal prudence, but at the same time, we have not had the adverse effects that some people had predicted. Mind you, things are challenging. Things are difficult. We still want to make sure that we can stimulate growth in the economy. That is our greatest challenge. When we have our consultation, the national consultation on the economy in a few weeks' time, the theme will be searching for ways and means by which we can stimulate growth in the economy, because we believe that we can perform better if we would have stimulated growth in the economy. I believe that what has been achieved is being felt by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis on the ground. The government has to do a number of things still. I am very concerned about the large numbers of unemployed people. Just on Tuesday on my program, I said those who are leaving high schools at the secondary level, and you have done well. I think the advice I give to you, go on to our college locally. Once you have qualified, you've passed your CXC successfully, don't stay home and hope and wait that you're going to find a job easily. It is not going to be easy. And it is not because we're doing anything wrong. It is what is the situation around the world. Those who have finished college locally, try to go on to colleges and move from your associate degree to your full degree. University and colleges abroad, where that is being provided. Those who have completed those same training exercises abroad and have returned home, they must have first preference in getting the jobs. And that is why I say our greatest challenge at this time is for those who have left school unsuccessfully, those who had to leave in fourth form, those who did not complete the required standards, did not achieve the required standards to go on to the college, and who, by virtue of their age, cannot go back into fifth form. That's the group we have to target right now, because that's the group that is vulnerable. We want you to go to AVEC, or the government will have to become creative, as it has been creative in the past, and find something for these young people to do so that they can be provided adequate training and some kind of subsistence while they are being trained. We have to find a way of doing this. That is the vulnerable group that I am very concerned about.